Welcome to the Hardpoint for everything Call of Duty. It is the Chilli here, and today, as you have seen by the title, it's going to be a tutorial video on how to quickscope, hardscope and dragscope in Black Ops 2. And now this is a sniping game where everyone snipes, and it can be pretty annoying at times, not just because you're getting sniped all the time, it's because you cannot snipe. And this is a common problem, and I've literally just solved it myself, and I wanted to share my tips, my tricks with you guys. And this is going to be so in depth. We're going to be going through every sniping stats, my class setup, and some other tips when you need to quickscope, hardscope, and what an overall sniper should be like. So without further ado guys, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, we are back, and as you can see, this is my recommended class setup for quickscopers and hardscopers. And if you were wondering, it's going to be a separate quickscoping time, and if you look in the description, it's going to take you straight there. They're going to be the times there, so definitely go and check that out if you're just interested in quickscoping. But this is my class setup for you guys. I definitely recommend you to try it out. It's very good. As you can see, the primary weapon is the DSR 50. In my opinion, it's the best sniper, but you can also choose the ballista. These two are the best. They're bolt action and they are definitely very reliable. The DSR are more reliable than the ballista because you get a lot more hit markers with the ballista, and that's why I prefer it over the ballista. But the attachments, we have ballistic CPU, which reduces idle sway, makes it more accurate, which is definitely key in a sniper, and also the laser sight, which reduces the crosshairs. It reduces them, it makes them smaller, which means you can be more accurate when quickscoping, which is definitely a necessity. We also have the secondary, the B23R. Now it's arguable that you do not need a secondary because you can just pick up a weapon on the floor. That's not always the case, and it's just good because this B23R is like a normal weapon. It's a 3-round burst and it kills them in a 1 burst, maybe 2. Definitely my favourite secondary. And as for perks, we have perk 1, we have hardline. You can also have tac mask, but I find myself not running into very much stuns. Maybe in a objective class such as hardpoint, but for me, I generally play domination or TDM, and I don't really have a purpose for tac mask, so I use hardline. For perk 2, we have toughness and fast hands. Toughness is a necessity also on the DSR because you flinch less when shot, and I couldn't imagine myself not using toughness on any of my classes. I use it on every single one because it just helps so much. As well as we also have fast hands, which makes you pull out your secondary a lot faster, and it makes you kill that enemy even faster before you get shot in the face. You know what, it happens. And for perk 3, we have dexterity, and I'm going to get a little more into dexterity later on, but it helps so much because you need to stop sprinting when you fire your sniper's bullet because it won't be on target. And finally, for the lethal, we have the C4 because you can just clear out rooms very fast, very simple, and without getting hit markers on any stuns or any concussions or even any frags. They just literally tear face, and you can also put them on the ground. They can be detonated if you have like a little sniper perch, as well as bouncing Betty, because you can avoid the bouncing Betty, so that's why I trying to stay away from that as well. But anyway guys, let's try and get into the basics of sniping. So here we have a quickscope, and we have some footage on screen now of what a quickscope is. You can just shot the arm off that person there. I mean, that's horrible accuracy, but as you can see there, I never scoped in and it just went totally wrong and it went off guard. You really need to scope all in for it to be deadly accurate like that. But watch, if it happens like that, the bullet is all the way over the screen and the bullets are now right in the exact same place. And just have to reload there. But that is the quickscope. Next up we have the hardscope, which takes a little bit longer to scope in, get your aim on and fire. You would probably use this at a longer distance, maybe on Nuketown. You wouldn't use that as much because it's so tight, but that's the Hardscope. And next we have the drag scope, which is much harder to execute. As you can see, I couldn't even hit the thing because you only really need to do it in certain situations. But look at this one, I'll show you in a minute. It kind of went really well, and it's kind of an example. You kind of drag your scope along to hit the target. And we also have the pistol, which you can just pull out when you need the secondary. But here, next we have some gameplay, and without further ado, let's get into the tips. So for tip number 1, we have aim your crosshairs in the center of the target when quickscoping. This means you have maximum accuracy and the crosshairs become tighter, and when you stop sprinting, this is what happens. So for your maximum accuracy, aim your crosshairs in the center of the person or target, and make sure you are not sprinting, and especially around corners, please do not sprint as we get collateral there. For tip number 2, this is basically a very important one. Use all of your skills at the appropriate distance. So from farther away, you don't want to quickscope. This is going to result in death, and if you are versing another sniper that knows how to do these things appropriately, then you are going to get wrecked. 360 no scope, no, that's also inappropriate for a really long distance. So for the angles of this map, from one garage to the other, or from this fine car all the way to their spawn, you really don't want to be quickscoping. As you can see, that was not a quickscope because that was at the wrong distance. That was meant to be a quickscope, but I did it wrong, and that's when I can pull my pistol out. You kind of got to use the situations to your advantage and use circumstances also to your advantage. Now, number 3 is kind of a iffy one. Take cover, but rotate to different cover, as this is classed as camping, and you will never get kills. The enemy will catch on and outplay you. I've been doing some research on how to play and the best playstyle for sniping, and that is kind of campy but not camping. So basically, you kind of need to run, and out of quickscoping, you won't be staying in one spot. But on the other hand, for hardscoping, you kind of don't want to be on the move all the time. Remember, you have to stop when you find an enemy and try and shoot them. But this kind of means make sure you have cover, make sure you're not getting shot from all angles, make sure you've got a clear tag on the enemy, try and head glitch as much as you can, but don't stay in the same spot forever, because the enemies will catch on, they will outplay you. Trust me, I have done this many times in the past, and it has worked once, and that was because we had an orbital reset. Welcome to Quickscope 101. The worst thing that you can do as a quickscoper is turn your back on the enemy spawn. Now this applies to weapons, every single one, shotguns, LMGs, assault rifles, SMGs, every single one. But sniping, quickscoping especially, you're probably going to be tearing up in someone's base, trying to get montage clips like an absolute pro MLG 360 no scope. No, I'm only joking, but you will kind of be edging towards a spawn, whether you're solo or playing with a team. If you turn the back on the enemy spawn, especially on Nuketown, you're literally just going to get shot in the face. Hardcore, you're not going to stand a chance, but I know that doesn't mean that you're always going to be playing hardcore, but that's just it. It's not going to end well if you turn your back on the enemy spawn. Time for tip number 2 on quickscoping. Now, don't expect quickscoping to come straight away if you are a beginner or you didn't snipe much. These tips aren't going to help you straight away, but over time, if you keep practicing, I would recommend bot matches. No, not bots, but kind of bots. The robots, that was just a stupid joke, didn't mean that. Probably going to edit that out. But anyway, I would like to say a big thank you for watching this video. I know that there wasn't too many quickscoping tips, but all of the overall tips kind of applied to the quickscoping tips, so it kind of balanced it out anyway. But without further ado, guys, please do subscribe to my channel, become a part of the Chilli tribe today. I know this is my first video, but there's going to be lots more tutorial videos coming in the near future. But bye bye guys, see you later. The Chilli is out. I would just like to take this opportunity to share with you guys my support. It is absolutely amazing, and if you could join the Chilli tribe, that would be outstanding. Thank you for sharing the video, giving it a like, and of course subscribing if you haven't already. And there'll be more tutorials in the future, especially for Black Ops 3 hype. And without further ado guys, see you on my next video.